you ready?
Yeah. He's such an awkward little fart. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley show. I am Guy Pigden.
That was might be the last time let you do the intro. What lyrics are they from?
That's the thing. So that's what my girlfriend said.
Yeah.
When describing Elijah Wood.
He's a little fart.
He's an awkward
little fart. Okay.
And which tickled me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite hilarious. And I was like, who says that? Who said that? Where did you get that from? She goes, I just made it up. And I was like, you made that up? And she was like, yeah, I just made it up. Because he's like a little fart. Like you see him and he's like,
yeah. I see.
And I was like, huh. Yeah, I kind of see that.
It kind of wafts around. I can see it, I guess.
You know, just like in the characters he plays, basically.
Yeah.
It just tickled me, and I was like, cool, well, I'm stealing that.
Because that ties in very nicely.
Because we just watched a film with Elijah Wood.
Yes.
Starring Elijah Wood called Come to Daddy.
Yep. And we got to see a special Skype intro from him in his Beverly Hills mansion or wherever he lives. Which was kind of... It just looked like a normal house.
It was kind of marketed that he would be there, wasn't it?
It was deliberately worded, I think, a little bit ambiguous. You know, it goes with an intro from Elijah. That's what it said. So before I got there, I did kind of think, well, I feel like I would have heard about it if Elijah Wood was in town.
Yeah.
But I was like, so it's probably a video thing. It's probably a pre-recorded video thing. But it was better than that. It was a live Skype thing. So he really was there, and we got to see inside Elijah Wood's house.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
We got to see the
wall behind him.
One back wall.
Had some books and stuff on it, I think.
Of Elijah's house.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And the movie is directed by Ant Timpson, local famed producer and creator of the 48 Hours Film Festival.
Yep.
And it was pretty bloody good, really.
Yeah, I liked it too. I felt it. It gave me quite a few chuckles, and I enjoyed the quite black sort of humor that it had, which was nice to see. And I would also liked that it was a wee bit genre defying. It sort of it wandered around a little, and I kind of liked that.
Yeah. Well, I at the time I was like, this is pretty good. But as I've reflected on it, I've thought actually it's really pretty good.
Yeah.
Because and even the idea that I reflected upon it means that it's really good.
Yeah.
Because I never if
stayed with your brain.
If I see a bad film, or like just an average film.
Yeah.
Like any film that I think about and digest over a period of time is sort of one of my ratings for success. Because a lot of films are just like, yeah, cool. Bad Boys 3, cool. I'll delete that from my brain immediately.
Yeah, well,
you
should have pre-deleted it by not going.
Whereas this was really pretty good.
Yeah.
And had some had some cool ideas. I do think the pacing was just a little off in the sort of first third, before things ramped up. But I know that there's also a criticism leveled at our film, I Survived the Zombie Holocaust.
Yeah.
So, and hate when cunts say that.
People did ask about it as well. I believe they referred to it as a bit of a slow burn, and that it was part of the intention for it to be a bit of a slow burn.
Yeah, it was just burning a little too slowly.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. I mean, I'm a big fan of keeping that shit short. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting around in the cinema for 2 hours at a time. Yeah. 80 minutes. I'm in and I'm out.
Yeah.
There are exceptions. Can't go wrong with a war film. A good long war
film.
A
good long 3-hour war film. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
So what has been going on in your life, Harley?
Hi, Chuck Black. Yes, this is live on YouTube. And welcome along. You're seeing the show live for the first time. I always wonder the same thing. How many Chucks could a Chuck Black fuck if Chuck Black could fuck Chucks? I always wonder the same thing. So shout out Chuck Black. And what did you say? You asked how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good. I'm good, mate. I'm pretty good. What have I been doing? Well, what have you been doing? We probably should have looked at our notes. I did go... We might as well open up Buzz Buzz on Bumble.
Cool.
Yeah, because I did go on a date with a fat little pug. Fat little... no-nosed pug. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's a horrible thing to say, Harley. That's a fucking terrible thing to say. You know, you might even say it was a little out of character, but she was the fattest little pug. She had virtually no nose, and when we were walking, she was like, but her owner was quite hot, and our walk at the dog park was lovely, actually. So I did go on a Bumble date there.
I see where you were going with that.
Yeah. If I'd rehearsed my notes, it'd be a lot better.
So you went on a dog date.
Yeah, dog walking date.
You don't have a dog.
I don't have a dog.
You just had to walk.
Yeah.
Which is the least good part of a dog walking date, to be honest.
No, I enjoyed walking with the dog.
Well, I mean, it's free.
I miss walking with a dog.
It's cheap.
Well, it's true. It is cheap. It's cheap, and it gets you out of the house, and it gets you surrounded by dogs. And as a former dog owner who misses having a dog, it was quite lovely.
And so how did that date go?
Well, it was good. It was good. Yep. She was lovely. We got along well.
What was her ethnicity?
She was Japanese. Japanese girl.
Any chances of a follow-up?
Well, I think so. I think we had a nice time. Guess we'll just have to see on that one, won't we? I guess the future episodes of Buzz Buzz on Bumble will tell. I don't know.
Okay. Well, speaking of dates.
Yeah, mum's the word.
Someone brought up that we were meant to talk about the Breakfast Faux Pas. Which was on a date.
Yeah,
one of your dates.
Yeah.
The woman in question was also Asian.
Uh-huh.
Is there a trend?
Well,
Are we following trends here?
No, not specifically. Not specifically.
Okay.
I just go on dates with people that match with me that are attractive. You know, and if they happen to be Asian, well, that's fine. I think that Asian women are attractive.
Yep.
You know, but if I had matched with...
You wouldn't suggest it was a fetish at this point?
No, absolutely not.
Now, can you just tell me what the last 3 dates, different dates you've been on with people, or what ethnicity were they? But it's definitely not a fetish. Well, it's pure coincidence.
These people come from a wide variety of nations.
Yeah.
And I'll have you know that my last 3 dates, and this is spread out over many, many months.
Yeah.
Many, many, many months. And these were just dates. And so the last one was a Japanese girl. The girl before her was a Chinese woman. Mm-hmm. And the girl before her was a Colombian.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, you know, I mean, look, there's no white girls matching with me and asking me to go out on dates. I'd go out on a date with a white girl. I'm not anti-white girls.
Come on, white girls. Sort your shit out.
Why don't you want to date me?
I believe we have talked about this in the podcast, that I am anti-white girls. I think we've talked about that.
And yet you've got a white girlfriend.
I do have a white girlfriend.
You've got a white girlfriend.
Unfortunately.
Right.
I got saddled with a white girlfriend.
Yeah. I used to get in trouble on this show all the time when I had a girlfriend, and I just imagine that it's exactly the same with you. That you just say stuff on this show which constantly gets you in trouble.
See, the beauty of my girlfriend is her lack of interest.
Right.
Good. Her lack of interest in my creative pursuits.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, basically what happens is that she starts listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So unfortunately this
bored.
one will get me in trouble.
Oh, because you started.
Yeah,
you said something offensive early.
Yeah.
You got to save all the offensive stuff for the
I'm
end.
gonna back it up a bit. But you know,
that's me too. I do that too.
Yeah. So anyway, but she
because you know less people are around by then.
She falls asleep.
Yeah.
At some point.
But this one's too early,
and she never goes back to listen to them because there's another episode to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
So you know, I haven't got into as much trouble as I should have, really.
Yeah. Until now.
But Valentine's Day did just happen.
Yep.
We should talk about Valentine's Day.
Okay.
How was your Valentine's Day?
I did.
Valentine's Day just dropped. What happened? What did you do? Where were you at?
I was right here.
Where was this beauty?
I was lying in this
beauty that you took out and showed her Auckland.
No, I didn't ask anybody anywhere. I didn't do anything. I chilled out here all day. I went to the gym as per normal and got some chocolates that were shaped like love hearts from there for some reason.
For yourself?
Yeah, for myself.
Yeah.
And then I went to work. I didn't even post anything on Facebook. I post a picture of my dildo and some
and a
some
knife.
Vaseline and a knife.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, happy Valentine's. My Valentine's Day for one pack arrived. But you can only do that 5 years in a row before it's not funny anymore.
Someone calls you out. My Valentine's Day, I made a bit of a faux pas.
Shout out to the fixer, by the way.
So basically what happened is that I'd said to my girlfriend, I said, you got the whole day with me. I've booked it. I've locked it off for you, baby. It's all you, And then my color grader said, are you free on Friday to do some color grading on Immi the vegan?
Yeah.
Because I just approached him like literally that day and I'd said, hey man, how busy are you? Can you do this project for us?
Yeah.
There's very low pay.
Yeah.
And he came back to me very quickly and he was like, actually, I'm quite quiet at the moment. Yes, I'll help you out. I will very graciously help you out with that pittance that you are paying me. And so let's do this thing. What's your Friday looking like? And I knew that I had nothing on Friday. I looked at the big gap on Friday and I was like, Friday's great. Friday works perfect for me.
Yeah.
So, I caught a little bit of heat for that one.
Yeah, well, you see, the mistake you made was you didn't put your obligation into your schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't put V day.
You've got to put your personal obligations in that schedule too sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was a crucial mistake. But we did go out for breakfast. Then we did some color grading. That was very good. And then we went to the new arcade place in the new mall in Newmarket that's been built.
Yeah.
My review of that place.
Okay. So there's a new mall that's been built.
This is a new mall in Newmarket.
And you went there with your girlfriend on Valentine's Day.
Because they have a specific arcade place.
And you're going to enthrall us with a review of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially they've got, sort of a cocktail bar bit.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Interesting cocktails. Food doesn't suck.
So wait, what is this place? I thought it was a mall.
Yeah, but within the mall is this arcade.
Okay.
But this arcade isn't like your time zone for kids.
Yeah. It's got
video
games
a bar,
and beer,
a restaurant, and a bowling alley.
Yeah. Like that famous one.
Yeah. And so anyway, the food and the drinks were pretty good. And I was like, yeah, this place is pretty good. Let's mosey on over to the game section. And the problem is the game section is fucking tiny. And so
it's just a bar.
It's really kind of a bar.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, there is games and there's, a bunch of games. But if you have quite a lot of people there, they're all fucking busy. Everyone's doing it. And so there's not heaps of opportunity to even play all the games you want to play. But it's just so small. It needs to be an extra story, basically.
Okay.
And so it was fun. It was cool. But overall, I don't know if I recommend it. If you're thinking, man, I'm just going to play games and hang out. It's going to be amazing. You will play all the games in half an hour.
Well, it sounds right for maybe taking a date.
Yes.
Take a date.
Well, take it for a drink. Exactly. Take it for a drink. Really worry about the drinks.
Yeah.
The exorbitant drinks. Worry about those.
No, I'm going to take a date to that... there's a similar place but they're all old and beaten up, the one that we went to.
I feel like that's better because somehow it's I don't know, it's all the pinball machines, it's retro. I don't know, I kind of like that place better. So yeah, that was my Valentine's Day. And then did we make sweet love, Harley? No, we did not.
No. Well, you were out with your girlfriend,
exactly.
So we couldn't. Yeah.
Otherwise we would have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did my girlfriend and I make sweet love?
I don't know.
Substitute?
Did you guys? Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
She
I'm sure that she's happy that you're telling the listeners.
She fell asleep.
Jeremy Housen needed to know that.
Yeah, of course. Because this is the thing. This is what you think about, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, all that sex
crazy
and stuff.
Sex,
Yeah, but that's only true for the first year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Valentine's Day.
And then after that, it's falling asleep on the couch watching Uncut Gems. I've got a review of that, but I'll let you take it away.
Okay. So the Breakfast Faux Pas.
Yep.
Now, long-term Sexy 160 listener Ben Wilson is the proud beer sponsor of this episode of the Guy and Harley podcast. He gave us £15, which works out to about 26 New Zealand dollars.
Substantial amount.
Which mean we can buy some delicious beer, such as this delicious Urbanaut craft brewed beer that I bought from just down the road from my house. So he's paying in pounds because despite being from our home city of Dunedin, he lives in London because he went on his big OE and ended up catching a family.
God, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
It's the worst when you catch a family.
Well, the trick is to run away.
Well, the thing is...
To abandon them.
Yeah, when you catch a family, like, oh, God, they're never going. You
Yeah.
know? You're like, I thought I've sorted this family issue out. No, they're here till you die.
Yeah. Well, if anyone else would like to shout us a beer for the next episode, go to paypal.com.
Common cold goes away. Family sticks around.
Families forever. All you need is the email address pigvilleproductions@gmail.com if you'd like to pay for next episode's beers or contribute towards them. And you just need our email address pigvilleproductions@gmail.com when you go to paypal.com. So, anyway, Ben said that he would pay for the beers under the condition that I finally revealed what happened a year ago in the event known as the Breakfast Faux Pas. Now, long-term listeners will remember that the Breakfast Faux Pas has been mentioned on the show several times, but never been elaborated on.
I keenly wanted to broach the subject.
Yeah.
I was turned down.
Repeatedly, yeah. Well, look, there's two reasons. There are a few reasons I never told this story. One is that a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell. And I am a gentleman.
And I guess the question, though, is if you don't kiss, do you tell?
If I don't kiss, probably. Another is that there isn't really a story here. The story only really exists in Guy's eyes, in Guy's mind, I think, because and it was him that dubbed it the Breakfast Faux Pas.
It's very Seinfeld-esque. That's why I like it.
Well, if you say so, the story is like
deals with the dichotomy between man and woman,
right,
and the obligations that we are both tasked with, and what they should and shouldn't mean.
Well, I was seeing a young woman for a wee while there, and she won't be named, but I liked her because apart from being physically attractive, she was also like creative and an aspiring director who was hustling in the film biz. And I've never dated a creative person, despite working in the creative industry like all my career. Like all of my exes, bless them, were all kind of, beautiful 9-to-5ers.
Bless.
Beautiful day walkers, and that's fine. But I do wonder what it would be like to date somebody who was trying to hustle, somebody that was hustling for a more, freestyle sort of career. And so that person could have been her potentially. And so I should preface this by saying I wish her no ill will, and I'm very happy, there's no bad blood between us or anything like that.
She's not listening.
Probably not, but, I honestly, there is no ill will.
No. I mean, but the amount of fucks that she could give.
Well, probably a very few.
Minimal
fucks.
amount.
Yeah. So
she may not even remember your name at this point.
I was Facebook friends with a person, and I flooded her news feed with, love emojis, heart emojis, but that didn't seem to work. But then I bumped into her in real life at this film event, and we got to talking, and eventually we went out for some cocktails, and one date led to another, and so on. And we went out to like quite a few things. We ended up on like, I don't know, like it was probably spread over like a couple of months, I think, this whole thing. And so anyway, we basically, I asked her to help me rehearse. I went around to her place. I rehearsed there with her, and I had an audition in the morning for Shortland Street, which was a big deal and a big opportunity for me at the time. So I said, okay, do you mind if I like come around and stay at your place and go to this audition in the morning type thing? And she was like, sure, come and do it, and I'll help you with the rehearsal thing. So I stayed with we did some rehearsal, and then in the morning, I was like, let's go get some breakfast. And wait, I was just going to
yeah. We went to get some breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
That's where you are in the story.
Yeah.
Is the breakfast part.
So we go to this cafe before I had my audition, and we got there, and she was standing in front of me, and I was thinking about my lines and all that type of thing because it was quite a big opportunity. This audition it was a chance to get on New Zealand's premiere television show, Shortland Street, prime time, 5 nights a week, which I would love to get on. And so she was standing there in front of me, and like I said, we'd gone on quite a few dates at this point, and I was thinking about my own shit, and then she ordered her breakfast, and she paid for it, and then I ordered mine, and then I paid for it. And then we sat down, and I noticed that she had a snotty look on her face, and she goes, well, if I'd known I was paying, I would have just eaten at home. And I thought about it for a little while, and I was like, she's not wrong. I mean, she's done me this favor. I probably should have bought her breakfast, and it was me even that suggested we go out for breakfast. So I was like, yeah, sorry, you're right. Because I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. I was like, yeah, sure, you've gone out of your way. No problem. I'll transfer you the money. No biggie. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm not looking for any excuses or an explanation. It's not about the money, And she goes, I don't want to be rude, but I deserve this. And I was like, I was like, fucking squeeze me.
You what?
And so there was a bit of a pause while we sort of regrouped, and I started thinking about it a little more. And I was like, when you say you deserve this, like, do you mean you deserve it because you're my girlfriend, or what? Why do you deserve that eggs Benny?
Why did you deserve me to pay for your meal?
Yeah, and she was like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Let's move on.
Yeah,
but it did seem to be saying that. She did seem to be saying that the circumstances didn't matter. It didn't matter why I did or didn't buy it for her. It didn't matter about the money. It didn't matter whether or not she was my girlfriend. She just, deserved that breakfast.
She bought the breakfast.
Yeah, and I
no
did.
Harveys.
No, yeah. So I was like, the only conclusion I could draw was that, she sort of deserved the money on account of being female and my friend.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
What it was saying? I mean, I don't know. She just seemed a little...
The matriarchy is alive and well, my friends.
Yeah. So, anyway, it did kind of annoy me a little bit after that, and I realized, much to my disappointment, that I'd kind of actually paid for virtually everything up until that point,
If you were keeping score.
Which I hadn't been. I hadn't been until this moment, and then I sort of went back
because
and thought
she
about
was.
it. But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, hang on a minute. The reason why I've paid for everything is because I've invited her to everything, which is, kind of the protocol. Like, if I invite you out to something, I can't expect you to be able to drop everything and pay for things all the time yourself. I invited you out. I don't mind paying for you.
Yeah.
Type thing. And it's my initiative, right? But that got me thinking. I was like, well, hang on a minute. Why the fuck am I asking her out to everything? I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I was like,
come to think about it, what do I deserve? Maybe I deserve a little bit of respect.
And then I was like, well, I'm just not going to message her for a while and see what she does. And then I didn't message her, and she didn't message me. And then the messages just petered off. And then it was like, hey, so like, is this over type thing? And she was like, yeah, I think we're better off as friends. And I was like, cool, all right, well, that's fine. It's fine. I didn't think you had any potential anyway. And that was really the breakfast faux pas. So it really wasn't that much of a story. Essentially,
yeah, it was a story. It was the catalyst
for
to
what?
The breakdown in the relationship. And not only was it the catalyst, it was, it brings up some very important questions about gender issues.
Well,
and who deserves what when you're going out to a cafe with someone and you're dating them.
Yeah, do you deserve free eggs Benny regardless of the circumstances?
Regardless of the circumstances.
Well,
do you deserve them? I don't think you do.
No.
Never assume, because when you assume...
You make an ass out of you and me.
Thank you. That was one of my ex-girlfriend's favourite sayings.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of Shelley's favourite sayings.
Total dad saying.
Yeah.
I heard that the first time from my dad.
She used to say that quite often. But she's not wrong in this respect, because look, you can't be expecting that old Moneybags Neville is just going to come through on the brekkie.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the question is, so this is how that expectation would come about. Do you want to go for breakfast? Oh, you know what? I actually can't afford it right now. No worries. I got you, bro. That's when you could expect that someone is paying for your breakfast.
Yeah.
You cannot expect that just because, he's a dude.
Well, look.
And he invited you for breakfast?
To be fair, I did. I should have paid for it that day. I should have paid for it. I
well,
did
not if you
invite
paid
her out.
for everything
the thing
else.
is, yeah, I hadn't paid for everything else.
So if you want to
backtrack. At the time, I was kind of like, this is not a big deal. I've paid for most things so far. You'd be a fool to make a scene out of this because the numbers are so skewed in my favor.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Well, she did it.
But she did it, yeah.
And no, I do have an issue with it, like, look, if it had been, like I said, 50-50 up until that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'd invited her, and there would have been maybe a little I'm not sure. Oh, don't worry, I'll pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then swear, it's all good. But otherwise, come on, bro.
Well, she might... I did ask her. I don't. She might not have been like, yeah, sweet, let's go to the cafe.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I
think I was like, hey, let's go out.
You hadn't phrased it. Let me take you out for breakfast.
Well, not let me take you out. No.
Well, there you go. No, mate, you're in the clear
But the
there.
thing is, I would have paid for it anyway. She was just ahead of me, and I was thinking of the audition I had coming up.
Can you remember any of those lines?
By the way, now I can't remember the lines, but I do remember that after the audition, the casting agent goes, Harley, this is Shortland Street, okay? Not Short Bold Street. Get the fuck out of my office. So
I don't think she said that.
So that's what she said. That's what she said.
Yeah, breakfast faux pas. Beginning of the end. Look, you're better off, mate, because if we're going by all these calculations,
Yeah.
you would have been paying out the ass for that whole relationship.
I would have been.
That could have been a good
But do you know what else?
couple of years.
Do you know what else could have happened?
Brutality.
We could have really inspired each other and created a lot of cool art that made us a lot of money, and it doesn't matter anyway. You know? Because we're a power couple. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the other half of my power couple. You know, someone I can hustle with.
Power couples are good.
That's what I want, you know, because you can plot, you know, pillow talk plotting.
Yeah.
Figure out, figure out
thought
the
that
world,
was-
figure out the plan.
I thought that's what we were doing, Harley.
Well, we were, but you got yourself a girlfriend, so it's not really my fault. I believe it was you that moved out, not me.
Well,
Actually, no, we got
were
disbanded.
both.
You were going to move out.
I was going to move out.
Yeah,
I
and then we
reneged
got
on the move out.
disbanded.
Reneged on the move out. And then we're disbanded.
Yeah.
The breaking of the fellowship. Yeah. And now we do have a spare room at our place,
Yeah, but
it's a bit small.
yeah, no good for me.
And also, there's a lot of film gear in there now.
Yeah.
So.
Now, speaking of film gear
Yeah.
and films, and this podcast being about our lives and films,
Yeah.
what is going on with Older at the moment, our second feature film?
Well, Older did just have its screening at Germany, which we sort of
Well, they
talked
knew about
about.
that, yeah.
Well, it's happened,
Yeah.
but it's like it didn't happen.
But did you Google anything? You didn't Google anything, did you? I Googled it, and I found...
Did you?
I Googled it, and I found a screen grab of, like, a star rating of it.
How was the start?
Well, it's unfortunately the screen grab's on my other computer, so I can't access it. But but it was it was pretty. It said it was like 4 out of 5 for like feeling or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, the worst it got was 2 out of 5, which was for thrill factor.
Oh right.
Which is, if you ask me, quite an unfair sort of category to put on a romantic comedy. You know what I mean? Like, you're not looking, or a romantic film like that, a romantic drama. It's not, it's not a thrill movie. It's not a movie with thrills in it.
Unless you consider the sex scenes thrilling.
Well, there was some good thrilling sex
There's
scenes.
0 thrills.
Yeah.
There's 0 thrills. Okay, interesting. Okay, I didn't look that up. I'm pretty sure I looked. I actually, maybe I feel like I did.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see anything. You know, but you know, I could be wrong about that. But I guess for me, oh God, it just doesn't feel like it's out because it's not out.
Well, it's not out.
But
That's
it
the
just
thing.
doesn't-
People can't watch it.
It doesn't quite feel like that last time, that old timey feeling when you release a film somewhere.
Well, it's because we weren't there.
It was Germany.
We weren't there. It was Germany. It was subtitled, you know, on the other side of the world, and we weren't there. And we didn't get any feedback, and we knew nobody that was there. So the world premiere of our film after 6 years feels like it didn't happen.
Well,
but it will feel like it happens when it comes out of here.
Yeah, I also said I did ask one of the festival organizers how it
They
went.
were offended by the...
They said it was... No, I didn't mention the German faux pas.
Yeah.
The German World War II reference faux
Yeah.
pas. Definitely didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I didn't speak on your behalf about that.
Falling back to the... well, it wasn't the Hindenburg line, but...
Yes. So I said,
The West Wall.
how was it? They said, it seemed to be well received, especially amongst the other filmmakers.
Ah.
And I was like,
Well, that's good.
So, and I was like, in my head, I sort of started thinking, well, is that because there was just a few filmmakers there?
Probably, yeah.
You know, I would have loved to have seen if they actually had people in those seats or not.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would have been good. We should have, I don't know. Yeah.
Gone?
So, well, yeah, if we could afford it.
Yeah.
The Fixer asks how we can watch Older. You can't watch Older yet. It's only been playing in this one festival. It's played 3 times, like last week or something like that, over in Germany. But we're working on it. So we've been working on contracts and lawyers and
applications
and all these types of things, and trying to figure out all that type of stuff so that we can get it out properly and sign a deal. We've been offered a deal, but now we've got to get it all sorted out, get everything lined up, and then we can sign it, and then we can get it out. This year, I hope.
Basically, Harley Harley went to the American film market. We got a bunch of offers. We did much deliberating.
Too much, maybe.
Perhaps too much, but, after once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
So, after our prior experiences, we were kind of what? How do we not get ripped off?
Yeah.
This is really difficult. Seems like everyone wants to rip us off.
And how do we not get ripped off?
How do we not do that? And so we try to take as many steps as possible to avoid that. And now we've got someone that we're pretty happy with and we want to work with. And the contract seems to be pretty good, but we just need that to be confirmed. And then the next step is basically handing over all the stuff to them. But then they will sort of inform us about a release date. And also
they might not say, might not be straight away.
No, it won't be straight away.
Yeah.
And we also have to decide, sort of whether we're going to pay for some LA screenings as well.
Yeah.
Whether we want to go down that road.
Yep. Well, patreon.com/Pigville if you'd like to contribute to sending us to LA to try and do some screenings over there. We promise we'll do a podcast while we're over there.
It's very much in the works. It's all coming together. But, these disparate threads being tied together just takes a bit of time. So, that's where we're sort of at. And that's really what's going on with Older.
Yeah.
We're waiting. We're playing the waiting game.
Not your favourite game, the waiting game.
It's actually my least favourite game.
Yeah.
And it's a game that I really struggle with. And in the past, some might say that I've rushed in like a fool. Because I can't wait, and that's kind of where we're at a lot of the time. So yeah, it's getting there. It doesn't feel real.
Well, it's not real yet because nobody can watch it.
And we also do have to organise some sort of merchandise and some DVDs and Blu-rays because we will be self-releasing here.
In New Zealand, and
so we've got to tour it. So I mean, we should also mention. Well, I should also mention that this is a very special episode of the Guy and Harley podcast.
What is that?
The Oscars 2020 special.
Oh.
Harley's going to play some music right now from the old Oscars special.
Am I? Thanks for that editing.
So the Oscars just happened. We all love the Oscars.
Yeah.
Or we all don't care about the Oscars, depending on where you sit. And, a lot of things happen at the Oscars, and I just wanted to run through the Oscar picks and get your thoughts.
Okay.
Well,
I've only seen one of them.
No, I think you've seen a couple more.
Okay.
Best Actor, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Joker, right?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. I'll chime in here. Well deserved, great performance. He's done a million good things that could have won an Oscar. This was another great performance. His Joker is like a really awesome, different take on the Joker. And also, this whole thing about the Joker, right, is like Jack Nicholson does an amazing Joker, and you go, how can anyone do a different Joker? Heath Ledger does an amazing different Joker, and then they go, how can we go anywhere? We've had Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. And then Joaquin Phoenix does another different one.
Just skipped one.
Who?
Jared Leto.
I actually literally
entirely skipped Jared Leto.
We talk about deleting things from our memory. Where can we go from here? Jared Leto. Okay. Well, where can we go from Jared Leto? Fucking anywhere?
Yeah.
Anywhere better than that?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so yes. So actually there was one terrible one in there. But there's 3 good ones and 1 terrible one. So that's not that bad.
Yeah.
So he won. So that's cool. Best Actor. Best Supporting Actor. Any guesses? You've seen this one too. You have actually seen this one.
No.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah. And the Hollywood Story.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino film.
Yeah.
Such a weird... I don't get the Oscars sometimes, right? Now, I do understand this concept that acting isn't just big acting. It's not just attention-seeking acting. It's not just like, oh, look at me, I'm an amazing actor acting. Like, that shouldn't always win an Oscar. But, like, literally, Brad Pitt was Brad Pitt walking around in sunglasses and acting chill for fucking 2.5 hours. And they go, he's brilliant. Give him an Oscar. Give that man an Oscar for acting chill.
I don't know if it was really an Oscar performance.
I would probably go, and also you have seen some of the other nominees. Al Pacino, Joe Pesci in The Irishman. Probably haven't seen Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes.
No, didn't catch that one.
And it was Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Those are the other nominees. So maybe it was just kind of like, I mean, I guess you could say that the Irishman is like Joe Pesci being Joe Pesci and Al Pacino definitely being Al Pacino.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a bit weird. Best Actress, Renee Zellweger.
Yeah.
And Judy. Haven't seen it.
No.
Can't comment.
No.
Sure, it's great.
Yeah. This is Oscar special. Excellent.
Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern, and Marriage Story.
Okay.
Have you watched Marriage Story?
No.
It's on Netflix.
I did get recommended to watch it by my ex, who shall remain
Oh, really? Did she recommend you to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, now there's some very clear, subtle
hints being thrown at me.
100%.
So I should watch it, should I?
Yeah, well, you've got to watch it if she recommended it, because obviously she saw some of your relationship dynamic in Marriage Story.
Yeah.
And, like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, that they don't remain together.
Right. Well, I mean...
it's about a couple's falling apart.
Yeah, well,
basically.
I saw the trailer.
And,
it's about their divorce and all that.
That's you and Angie. There we go. So that's great that she recommended you that. It's always great when, like, your ex recommends you, hey, I think it'd be really good if you watch this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, loser.
This is what I'm thinking of you.
I really think you're a piece of shit, and there's a piece of shit in this movie, and I really compare you to this piece of shit, and I would really think it would help and benefit you being less of a piece of shit if you watched a little bit of this. And just so you fucking get what I suffered through. Yeah. Such a classic. Such a classic.
Watch this and learn, but it could also be the opposite.
Well,
which
it's
is
nice
like,
if they're like, hey, watch this lovely love story between two, but that's not the case here.
Well, I'll have to watch it and see. Why not? I better watch it. It is on Netflix. Yep. I will watch it.
It's free. Well, free-ish.
Yeah. It's free for me. Shout out Sexy 160 listener Bevan.
Best animated film is Toy Story 4. Who cares? Now here we go. You'll dig this.
Yeah.
Best cinematography. Any guesses?
The guy from 1917, but I don't know his name.
Roger Deakins.
Yeah.
So 1917, absolutely, you could not really say any other film.
Yeah.
Because it was such a visual achievement.
Yeah.
So absolutely, costume designs, we don't care. Directing. Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Parasite. I've recommended Parasite on this thing. He also won for best film and best international film, there was a bit of a brouhaha about that, which is like, you can't win best international and best film because you already won one, so you can't win two.
Well, of course you can.
Well, you could never until I don't think there was a rule.
Yeah.
But no one ever did until now.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bong Joon-ho, he won it, and he is an awesome
Otherwise,
director.
that means that best film really just means best American film.
Yeah. And I guess
if you're saying that an international film can't win it,
and I guess in theory that's perhaps what the Academy were trying to say with, by doing that.
Yeah.
Now,
shout out
their wokeness. Shout out to the Academy for being woke.
Shout out to Sly Will on the live stream. The Fixer needs to see 1917. Yeah, you do need to see 1917. You've got to support war films in the cinema.
And then best documentary, American Factory. Haven't seen. And really, I'm just having a quick scroll. Is there any other important ones? Oh, well, yeah, we should mention best adapted screenplay. You know who won that?
I feel like I do actually know who won that.
Better know.
It was Taika Waititi.
It's correct.
Jojo Rabbit.
He did win. So that's,
haven't seen it.
So that's the first.
A lot of good films that I need to see.
That's the first New Zealand. I haven't seen it either. It's the first New Zealand Oscar win in quite a long ass time since PJ. I
Really?
think so.
I thought I saw a Kiwi get something
You might be right. I guess
reasonably recently.
not in the
But not
best screenwriter, director, filmmaker category. Let's put it like that. So anyway, he won. Congratulations to Taika. That's a pretty big deal. He's really doing what we would like to do, but
Well, he's just moving at 100 miles an hour.
He is.
Like he shoots a film and then it comes out
and he's shooting
quite
his
quickly,
next.
and he's shooting his next one. And but you've barely forgotten about his last one,
Yeah.
and they're all good.
Yeah.
You've barely forgotten about his last one, and his next one's coming out.
But he's also one of the few directors to kind of balance between like arty sort of Oscar-winning film, a literal Oscar-winning film in Jojo Rabbit, and like Thor Ragnarok, Thor 3, the latest Marvel film.
Yeah.
And like, literally that was his follow-up film was Jojo Rabbit. So he had this huge box office success, and then he won an Oscar. So he can't really do any wrong at this point.
No.
So congratulations to Taika.
I wonder if he remembers me. He looked at me once and gave me the eyebrows, the what's up.
Well, he's got to give everyone those now because everyone recognises him.
Yeah.
And the winner for best... Sorry.
I was an extra in Eagle versus Shark.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was an extra in Eagle versus Shark. So he's my boy. He's my homie, you could say.
We're basically best friends.
We're basically besties.
It would be funny if you kind of brought that up.
With him.
Like if you were just there and you're like, hey man, I was an
a-
extra in Eagle vs. Shark.
And he's like, cool, good for you.
No, but seriously, you owe me.
Yeah.
You owe me because it wasn't for us little people, you wouldn't be where you are now.
Can you read this script?
So you better fucking thank me.
You better read this script. It's called The Family.
Speaking of The Family, we should get on and start giving that to people to potentially... We'll talk about this off here.
Okay.
And best screenplay went to best original screenplay because that was an adapted screenplay. Best original screenplay again went to Parasite.
Right.
So Bong Joon-ho was cleaning up. He should have. I watched that film and in the cinema. I loved it. I thought it was my favorite film of last year. So congratulations to all the Oscar winners. Thank you very much. This has been another Oscar special. Cue the music, Harley.
Nice.
What else?
Good. Well, seeing as I'm editing in this area anyway, it is a very sad episode of Who's Dead this week.
Or who is dead this week?
A writer and director from Dunedin.
Yeah.
Hang on. My thing keeps jumping around.
Yeah. Really?
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Writer, director from Dunedin?
Yeah. So a very sad episode. Here we go. Very sad episode of Who's Dead this week.
No edits.
There'll be an edit right there. A writer-director from Dunedin. The man who discovered Harley Neville and cast him in his first feature film as a leading role, a leading man. I am, of course, referring to Phil Davison, the writer-director of such films as Kung Fu Vampire Killers and Ghost TV. He was a friend of mine and a respected teacher and an enthusiastic filmmaker who made several feature films in Dunedin. And he passed away quietly in the night after a year-long battle with cancer. And he kept us all updated via Facebook with interesting and informative posts about the process and the medical process of everything that was going, with him and fighting the cancer and that. And he posted right up until the last day of his life, knowing full well and mentioning that he was unlikely to wake up in the morning, and then he didn't.
Wow. That's some serious shit.
It is serious.
This is the problem with Facebook, right? As we're gonna get as we get
It'll
older,
happen more and more. You'll be watching all your friends die.
Yeah, hopefully we're the ones getting older.
Hopefully you'll be watching your friends die.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we're not the ones
dying.
doing this post.
Yeah.
But essentially you get like a minute by minute fucking detail of their demise.
Yeah.
In this sort of very intimate way that's very, very upsetting and disturbing to read.
Yeah. Well, it definitely, makes you feel it for sure when you're sort of essentially witnessing it with them digitally. He lives on the other side of the country, and I'm actually going to Dunedin at the end of this month, and I was going to visit him, but that won't be happening anymore.
That won't be the case.
No.
What type of cancer?
Something in his throat. And
throat cancer.
so he seemed to face death bravely with these posts, and no mention of superstition or anything like that.
By superstition, you mean religion?
Yeah, or any soul stuff or anything like that. You know, there was no nonsense about his energy continuing or anything like that. You know, it was just all very kind of sensible, which is how he was, I think. And so. If anyone would like to see that film, you can go look for Ghost TV. It's available on Vimeo. I'll share the link. It's available on Vimeo, but it's not available on YouTube. It's $2 to watch it on Vimeo. I'll share the link on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. So and presumably all that money will be going to his estate. So
well, hopefully
that'll be good.
His account not cancelled because he stops paying the
Vimeo payment or whatever.
Because he would presumably be the one paying those payments.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I guess he would have sorted out all his banking and so on with his wife and all that stuff before he.
He's like, you need to continue this Vimeo subscription, so my legacy lives on.
Yeah, well,
Ghost TV.
You never know; it might actually go viral one day, make some money for the family. Could be part of their inheritance type thing.
Well, look, this is a young Harley Neville. This is early Harley Neville. This is original leading man Harley Neville.
Yeah,
and you can all see that.
Yeah, another person, another sad episode of Who's Dead this week.
Oh God!
Yeah,
two.
There's more.
Two
is Alan Henderson. Now, you probably wouldn't know his name, Alan Henderson, but you probably would know him if I said he was the voice and puppeteer behind Thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thingy from the Son of a Gun show.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so Thingy is shuffled off the mortal coil.
Yeah.
And so I knew Alan. I knew I worked with him quite a lot in TV because he was also a TV director as well, and so I worked with him quite a lot, and he was always a lovely guy and very easy to work with and just chilled and relaxed and nice and friendly, and he did have a bit of a Thingy voice, like you could hear Thingy in his voice when he was just talking and directing and stuff like that, which was cool because I grew up watching Thingy. As a kid I saw Thingy heaps on the television, and so it was crazy that now in my 20s I was then sitting there working with this guy and I could hear it and I knew it was Thingy.
Well, I guess they won't be doing a reboot of the Son of a Gun show anytime soon.
I guess not, or they'll just they'll have to use new cast. But yes, so anyway, rest in peace, Alan. It was a pleasure knowing him as well, and lots of people in the TV industry are all sort of posting about him at the moment as well.
Didn't see any of that.
No. Well, it's probably just my part of the industry.
I thought you were going to say, well, it's probably because you're not part of the
television industry. Well, there is that too. You don't even have an agent.
I don't have an agent. I haven't had an agent in months.
Yeah.
I don't really have any.
You should get onto it because Older is coming out.
Yeah.
And when Older's out, it makes sense to have an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make sense to do that.
Yeah. But the wheels are falling off this wagon.
I should get onto that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more excited about casting myself as the hot dog man and Immi the vegan than I am about any potential roles that I'm going to be casted. But of course, my tune would quickly change if that role was a $5,000 commercial.
Yeah.
So I should really sort that out. I have to get new photos. That's
new headshots. Well, we need to get headshots done because we've got some Guy and Harley podcast merch that we need to start slanging, and it's these t-shirts and singlets that we need to get done. We need to get some photos done so that we can start selling those. And so we might as well get a photographer to do our headshots at the same time, all in one hit, because we're both in the same place with a photographer. So we get some new headshots done and get the merch shots done.
We might want to reach out to your peeps.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Okay, well, R.I.P. Who was the director's name again? What's his name?
Phil Davison.
Phil Davison.
Yep.
Phil Davison.
Yeah, he was a teacher at the Polytech down there, and he used Ghost TV to teach the students about editing and stuff like that.
Did he ever make another feature film?
Not another feature, I don't think. So he did Kung Fu Vampire Killers, he did Ghost TV, and then I don't think he did another feature. But I'm sure he did shoot things in an active YouTube channel and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he shot another one.
Yes, I actually just I've been we mentioned Immi the vegan earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, you said it was.
So it was at the color grade.
And
it was so essentially Immi the vegan has now moved into post production.
Yeah,
which is the part where the editing's finished and everyone else has to do other things. So color grade and sound design.
Yeah.
And that's where it's sort of off. And I was working with the color grader, like looking at different looks that we might be doing for the thing and messing around. But he was also like, look, you can leave a hard drive with me, with Immi the vegan on it, if you promise to take away the zombie Holocaust hard drives, which I have been holding here for 8 fucking years.
Yeah.
All right? You got to take them away.
Yeah.
I've had enough of this.
Why was he holding them? You just for a favor.
So essentially, he was holding them because originally he was using them to grade, which was sort of the final part of the process.
Yeah.
But then since then, it was kind of like, well, I live in a shoebox. So I don't
can
really,
you just hold on to them?
Can you just hold on to those, mate? And every time he'd be like, hey, you really need to take these hard drives back, man. This is getting silly. And every time he'd be like, yeah. All right, I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye. Yeah. And I'd never do it until now. But I sort of clicked through because I wanted to actually see what was on those, and it did bring back some quite disturbing, shall we say, harrowing memories. Yeah. Because it was like VFX shot amended, VFX shot × 2 Jill, VFX ×2 final Jill 3. Yeah. And it was like, oh my fucking god, I forgot that there was like fucking over 200 visual effects shots that took fucking 3 years to do, and god, I just want to kill myself all over again. Yeah. So that was cool to see those pop back up.
Yeah. Bring back that old trauma.
Yeah, bring back that good old fashioned PTSD.
Yeah.
Bring back some of that. So yeah, I got those hard drives back. They are now sitting safely in the Pigville
in the bottom of a box somewhere in your wardrobe. Yeah.
The Pigville memory banks. Shall we say?
Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
On account of me not actually having very many notes this week.
Well, I will just tell one more final story.
Okay.
So I got a message again. We're talking about I Survived the Zombie Holocaust. I got a message from Ben Baker. So Ben Baker played Tane in the zombie film, which is one of the lead actors, and we sort of stay in touch. But I hadn't actually heard from him in a little while. I just see him on Instagram and Facebook. And that's enough these days to maintain relationships. And anyway, he was like, bro, what are you doing? And I was like, you mean today?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, like, what are you doing over the next sort of week? And I was like, well, I'm trying to write this course that I've been neglecting for the last 2 months, actually. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, fuck that. You need to come and be a driver on this new show that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And the show in question, he's the lead driver on, right? And the show is an AMC show by the same guys that did The Walking Dead, and it's starring Norman Reedus, the guy.
Oh, that's why he's in New Zealand.
From The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, you need to do it. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, just come. There's one van and one other thing. It's a very small crew, and I just need one extra person to drive. I'll be doing one of those, and you can drive the other one. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I really have work to do.
Yeah.
And he was like,
should have hit me up.
And he was like, no, fuck all that. Just come and do it. And I was like, I started thinking about it. He goes, you'll get to meet Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, a.k.a. Thanos, a.k.a. the guy from, every fucking movie you've ever seen. Deadpool 2, Cable.
Haven't seen any of these movies.
He's in, I'm trying to think of the war film he's in, because then you know who I was talking about.
You got to orient me by my war films.
But he's also in No Country for Old Men.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, Jesus Christ.
Is that the Leonardo DiCaprio one?
No. But he's just in everything. I think he's in The Departed. You've seen that.
Once, moons ago.
So anyway, for everyone else on listening is like, Harley, you fucking idiot. It's Josh Brolin, of course.
Okay.
He was in The Goonies. Anyway. So he's been in films for...
Samwise.
He's literally...
Samwise.
No. He's been in films for 40 fucking years.
Samwise is in The Goonies.
Yeah, but he's the older brother. It's one of them.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that would be pretty fucking amazing. And yes, I could stall all this work that I'm really, really meant to be doing.
Yeah.
For, cinematic glory.
Yeah.
And, so I started thinking about it. I was like, fuck, yeah, I should do it. I asked my girlfriend, I was like, what should I do, babe? It means I'm not going to be here for another week. She's like, nah, it's cool, go do it. You're going to be Thanos. You're going to be Thanos.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So I messaged him back. I was like, sweet, man, I'm on board. Let's do this thing. He's like, sweet, bro. I'll get back to you. I was like, dates, itinerary. I need everything. Where do I pick up the car from? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was like, just look, calm your farm. It's fucking, it's last minute bringing everything together. So I'll get back to you by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Day gets later and later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what's going on, bro? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, still working on it. End of the day comes. The end of the day.
Yeah.
Like 10 o'clock. Sorry, bro. Producer's gone with someone else.
Bang.
Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
So it's all over.
Yeah.
You're doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, so, of course, through this day, I built up this whole narrative in my head about me,
convincing
making Norman Reedus watch my zombie film.
Yeah.
Hanging out, having laughs. We're best mates.
Yeah.
He's in our next film.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin starring in The Family.
Yeah.
Like all these grand ideas.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nah, it's not happening.
Nah.
Cancelled. But then, the next day, he messaged me, he goes, what are you doing, bro? And I was like, I'm nothing. I'm free. I'm available. Just whatever you want. I'm not even going to question it this time.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, what I need you to do is you got to bring a stunt driver from the airport out to the Coromandel where we're filming.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take Thanos back to Auckland, him and his security guard, just you and him. You're going to be taking him back. And I was like, it's sweet, I'll do it. It's great. Let's do this. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then it was all confirmed. So I was like, God, I'm meeting Thanos and I'm taking him home. And of course, I've got 2.5 hours with this guy.
Yeah.
You think we're not going to talk? You think I'm not going to be pictured? I'm not going to make him literally watch Zombie Holocaust in the car on his fucking DVD?
Yeah.
Do you think that he is not going to be in the family by the end of that car trip? Of course he is.
Yeah.
In my head.
Yeah.
So I built all this thing up. So I picked up the rental car. I drove out. I picked up the stunty. And the stunty was amazing. He'd worked on all these different films. He'd been a stunty for like 30, 40 years. Had amazing stories about Michael Bay being an asshole.
Yeah.
And he'd worked on all the Bad Boys films. He'd worked on all the Fast and Furious films. He'd worked on, you'll know this one, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And, he talked a little bit about amazing stories all the way through the car. He also talked about where he was like working on
Did you pick him up in your beat up Uber?
No, so I picked up a rental car.
Okay. Yeah.
And then picked him up, SUV, nothing but the best for these people.
Yeah.
So anyway, in my head, I was like, this is amazing. This is great. Now imagine this times 10 when I pick up Thanos in about fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And also, like, the pitch was originally like, you'll stick around on set and watch them film and hang out with everyone till they're ready, until they've shot them out.
Yeah.
And then you'll take them back. And I was like, sweet. Well, I drove there.
Yeah.
I got there. Didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, change your plan. You taking back one of the producers.
Yeah.
Who you don't know. He's not Thanos, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see anything because he's going right now. So that's what I did instead. So I got fucked in the ass twice.
Well, was this a paying gig?
Yeah, it was paying.
Oh, that's all right then. It's all right.
Yeah, look.
And is it ongoing? Is it going to be more?
No, because that was the thing. Because also the other one was I'd get to go down to the South Island as well.
Right.
To do some driving down there.
Yeah.
But again, it was all cancelled. But I was like, if I could just get this Josh Brolin meeting in.
Yeah.
If I can just get that in.
Yeah.
My life will be complete.
Yeah.
And it was not completed. And this is filmmaking.
Yeah.
For anyone that's wondering. It's like getting your hopes up real high.
Yeah.
And just believing in
this could change my life.
Believing in all the amazing things that are about to happen.
Yeah, I gave up on all that.
And then all of those things.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was locked in.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin was locked in my car. Quite literally.
Yeah.
I'd have the locks on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I was edged out of that one. So I ended up, what it essentially was is basically I was an Uber driver for a day.
Yeah. Well, you should
on these two big ass rides.
Yeah. Well, there might be more of it in the future.
Yeah, possibly.
And now you're in the door.
But the thing is, I won't actually. Normally, I'd have to say no because I work.
But that's when you pass it along to me, so it's all good.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's all good, and I've already got some guest hosting experience.
Yeah.
So
well, I did too, thanks to you.
Exactly. So
that was the other thing I did use on my CV reference. I was like, driver for Show Me Shorts.
Yeah.
But anyway, my hopes of meeting Josh Brolin, Norman Reedus,
Were dashed.
Dashed
Well,
twice.
temporarily.
Not once.
They're still here.
Not once, but twice.
I am running, with the assistance, not by myself, but I'm running a Screen Lab mentorship program thing where for the day we pair up writers with established writing mentors, and those mentors go over the scripts of these aspiring writers and sort of help them and mentor them and see if they can make the scripts better and just kind of work on it with them. So I'm running that, and that's happening at the end of this month between, a sort of a small group of writers and a small group of mentors. So that's been taking up a lot of my time, but that's quite exciting because that's all in the biz, and that's all meeting people and hanging out with the right people and, running things and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, but who cares about writers?
Well, it's true that nobody really cares about writers.
No one gives a shit. All we want to know is about actors. Who is the actors? What do they do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's... Yeah, it's just funny. I kind of want to list off some of these tests if you've actually seen any of them.
These what?
That Josh Brolin's been in.
Oh.
We
find the war film. You'll find the war
film. I'm just looking for the
okay.
war. I'm just looking for the war film.
Yeah.
American Gangster. Have you seen that?
Don't think so.
Sin City 2.
No.
W. The George Bush one.
No. Absolutely not.
Wall Street 2?
2. Yeah. Yeah, I did watch the second one.
Grindhouse, Planet Terror.
Nope.
You didn't see Planet Terror?
No, was that the Quentin Tarantino?
The one by Robert Rodriguez.
It was two films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
He was in that.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, so he's been in some stuff. But...
Well, I guess that's
That's probably it. And there was the war.
I'm looking for this war film. I can't find it, but this
film.
is just his image. Like, this isn't all his films, so I'm really just kind of guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for listening. If you would like to check out some more stuff, go along to facebook.com/Guy and Harley. What the fuck has Harley seen? There's a better question from Sly Will.
Has asked that question. Yeah. Fucking good question, Will.
Listen,
I'm
man,
always asking.
I've watched a lot of war films. I've seen quite a lot of war. I grew up on Hamburger Hill, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, these types of things. These films shaped me. So I'm a war film person. I know quite a lot of war films. Reasonable amount of sci-fi, but not kind of crappy sci-fi. Good sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like that 2001: A Space Odyssey. or the Netflix version of it was even worse. I had to turn it off after about a quarter of the first episode.
What's the Netflix version?
There's a Netflix. I'm sure it's 2001: A Space Odyssey, or maybe it's one of those ones. And there's a Netflix TV show.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, okay. A space one. Maybe it's something like that. Anyway, look, thanks for listening. Facebook.com/Guy and Harley. I'll post some links there, and you can hit like and hit follow and all that stuff. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon.
See you later, Josh Brolin. I'll see you one day.